Well, good morning, everyone. I am so happy to be back with you all on this beautiful Wednesday morning. It's March 27th, and the sun is shining, and apparently it's supposed to be like 68 degrees today. So
Woohoo!
awesome. This is Glenda, and with me is Julie, and we went to a leadership retreat that doTERRA hosted last week in San Diego, California. And we felt very compelled to share a lot of what we learned. So today we're kind of switching it up, and we're going to talk about why doTERRA and why now.
Mm-hmm. So first off, we will line you up with our agenda. So our March promotions will come up first. We'll discover why doTERRA, why now? And then we will tackle some of the new products and product updates, and then finish off with our upcoming events.
So this month you can get 10% off Mito2 Max. That's till March 31st, which I believe is Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah. So you've got a couple more days to take advantage of this. This is a wonderful energy and stamina supplement. You know, instead of reaching for all those extra cups of coffee, you know, maybe trying a couple of these, see how that helps you with your midday slump, give you a little boost in the afternoon or morning. So you can get those for 10% off.
And then this is one of my favorites, right? One of my favorite oils. Okay, so this is one of my favorite promotions that we have. This promotion allows you to get a free 4-ounce tube of Deep Blue Rub and a free 5 milliliter bottle of the Deep Blue oil. And this can happen when you place any single 200 PV order during the month of March. So whether it's an enrollment order or an LRP order or a standard order or even a retail order, although quite frankly, guys, friends don't let friends buy bad oils and friends don't let friends pay full price. However, so yes, grab your Deep Blue promotion by placing a 200 PV order. And if you find yourself realizing that, you know, maybe you already placed your order this month, but you have other things that you're wanting to get, place another 200 PV order, guys, because this is a great deal that you don't want to be missing out on.
I know I have my list of things I'm out of already. And it's like, I think I might just do another order this month.
I'm thinking so. So, I was very, very moved by a lot of what doTERRA has been doing lately. And one of doTERRA's big vision ideas, big picture visions, that they wanted to, their mission is to change the world, one drop, one person, and one community at a time. And I think that's really important to think about. You know, we maybe watch the news and we get so devastated with what's going on in the world outside of our own. And there's almost a feeling of hopelessness or helplessness. And it's almost overwhelming to think about all of the things that we don't have control over. But what we sometimes fail to remember are the little things that we do have control over and the circle of influence that we do have around us. So that simple share with your coworker or your neighbor can really make a huge difference in their life.
Yeah, it's so powerful to think how doTERRA has come in 10 years. And really, when you kind of boil it down to where they've started and what they've done, they really started with one oil, just sourcing one oil and sharing with one person, one drop, one community at a time. It's extremely powerful. So part of what they presented to us last week is that really doTERRA is built on these 4 pillars. And the first one is our Healing Hands Foundation, and that's our way of giving back to the communities where we get our, that's contact sourcing. Sorry, Healing Hands Foundation, that's our way of just really reaching out and helping those that need a hand. We'll dive a lot deeper into that in just a moment. The other pillar is co-impact sourcing, and that is, the way that doTERRA is sourcing these oils is unlike any other business that I know of, where we really want to work with the communities that we're getting these beautiful plants from. We want to make sure that they're taken care of and they can take care of their families, because when they give us those beautiful oils, then we can take care of our families. It's just this beautiful symbiotic sourcing that just really helps everyone involved. And then our CPTG, that's our certified pure therapeutic grade, our standard for our oils, that's hugely important. And then this last pillar, which is so exciting, and we will dive deeper into this as well, is doTERRA is going to disrupt healthcare. And they are already have opened a few Prime Meridian health clinics. And we'll be able to show you where you can see some of those coming up soon.
So again, they started with this big vision, right? They wanted to really help out their families. They wanted to do so with amazingly pure oils. They wanted to be able to give back to the farmers. And even from the very, very beginning, when they refused to take outside funding, because they did not want to give up ownership of the company. They didn't want to give up control of how pure that they insisted their oils to be. So they did this. They started this company by mortgaging their homes. There was, 5 of them at that point in time? Mm-hmm. And they put their homes up for hawk. They went without paychecks for 13 months while they got started with this company. But one of the things that really strikes me is even through all this, they started from the very, very beginning with their nonprofit Healing Hands Foundation. So even from the beginning, they were starting to give back, even when they didn't really have very much to give at all.
Yes.
So, like I said, their social responsibility was one of the things that they really felt very drawn to. And they have done a tremendous job working with their farmers, harvesters and distillers. And it really does allow for not only the quality of our oils, but the sustainability factor too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to dive into their Healing Hands Foundation here for a minute. I got a little bit lost in this world yesterday. They have done so much for so many different lives around the globe over the last 10 years. It's really almost overwhelming. And truly what I was just looking at is what we've done over the last year. So this is pretty astounding. So their Healing Hands mission, the Healing Hands Foundation is working to empower people and communities worldwide to make positive and sustainable change through partnerships for global impact, matching support for wellness advocate projects, and by facilitating community development projects in co-impact sourcing areas. People are empowered and lives are changed. I just find that so great. So this is some of the numbers that they had come up with what we have done just in the last year. So this is millions of dollars. Wellness advocate matching projects, and we'll talk about that here in a minute, 724,000. Co-impact sourcing, 847,000. Emergency kits shipped, 1,050,000. Corporate partnerships, 3,186,000. Corporate select, $3,996,000. Isn't that amazing? Holy cow!
Wow!
Right? So we'll dive into what some of these different areas mean here. So I'm sure that you guys have heard all the tragic stories, from the wildfires to the hurricanes and the mudslides, the volcanic eruptions in Hawaii. And we sit here in our little first world houses and we feel a little bit helpless to give back, to participate, to really help out. And one of the things that doTERRA has provided to us as wellness advocates is a way to use what we do have, you know, financial resources, as an opportunity to give back. And they've created these amazing 72-hour emergency relief hygiene kits. So this is, obviously, it's not going to be something that will sustain them for years and years, but if you can imagine what tragedy it is to be pulled out of your home with nothing on your back, right? And so what these 72-hour hygiene kits contain is a towel, a toothbrush, some toothpaste, a Melaleuca roller bottle, soap, deep blue rub, Band-Aids, and shampoo and conditioner. So it's, you know, not going to be a brand new home, but it certainly will give them a short 72-hour little glimmer of hope, right? And so as doTERRA Wellness Advocates, we can purchase these in our back office. Either now, they just released that we have the $25 single kit option. You could purchase them in $100 amounts, so 4 kits are available, and I believe they have a $500 option as well. So it's just a really easy, simple way that if you're feeling called to take care of those little less fortunate, this is a great way to give back. Mm-hmm. And these are all of the kits that they have collected and distributed just in 2018. And there's more, like 52,000 kits were distributed in 2018.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Awesome.
And I know that the volcanoes in Hawaii, there were so many people struggling with breathing problems that Melaleuca has been, you know, really great. And I know that there were people bringing peppermint oil into the area too. So the next component is our Let's program. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Let's, but it is it's a bracelet that has been created to help track your lunar cycle. So it's kind of hard to see on there, but what it allows you to do is it allows you to move this little charm down the bracelet, and it is 28 beads that allow you to track your cycle. So what this has allowed for people in third world countries is an opportunity to recognize and take ownership of their body's fertility, so that they don't get caught off guard, they don't end up pregnant, unwanted, unwilling, and they're able to stay into school and create something for themselves further on. And so these are made by the Haitian Bead Company. They had employed them to make the Let's bracelets. They employ 70 women to make them, and they're made from recycled trash. So how amazing is that? So anytime that you go to convention or leadership, any corporate event like that, they do have these Let's bracelets available for sale, and the proceeds all go to Healing Hands Foundation as well. Actually, I'm sorry, the proceeds go straight to the Let's Foundation. Yeah, and it's a really fantastic organization. And if you feel compelled to give to that organization above and beyond doTERRA, they do have their own website as well. And then they have created these aftercare service projects where we have connected with the Rafa House in Haiti, Cambodia, and Thailand. And the Rafa House is a aftercare location that helps to rehabilitate children that have once previously been involved in sex trafficking. And so we'll get into that in a little bit here, but we have donated 900 backpacks filled with the Days for Girls sanitary napkins, socks, toothpaste journal, toys, just some really great, not only sanitary necessary things, but some good things for the girls to, help them to feel loved and cared for.
Mm.
So one of the things that doTERRA does is they have these wellness advocate matching projects. And what this means is that you can partner if you have something tugging on your heart, if you have a project that you really feel aligns with doTERRA's mission. You can partner up with your local diamond, apply for the fund matching, fundraise for your own part, and then doTERRA will match your funds and then go off and do your project. You'll have the financial ability to do so. And the reason that I bring up these Sandy naps is I actually have a friend that is native to Kenya, and her and her husband took 4,000 kits over to Kenya a couple of months ago, and they were financially struggling with getting everything shipped over there, and they brought this to doTERRA, and doTERRA gave them, I think it was $3,000 towards their project.
Wow.
I know, isn't that amazing? So Sandy Naps is just like the Days for Girls stuff, just a different name. It's a sanitary napkin option that allows these girls to stay in school.
Wow.
Oh, there's some little heart jerking, yep. Get your napkins or paper towels, Kleenex. I'm old school. Okay. All right, so next up is our... Sorry guys, I'm trying to get through this fast. There's so much information. Okay, so the Healing Hands Foundation has their own website. And one of the things that I've noticed, and I'm sure you guys have paid attention to on Facebook, is there are so many ways that people can fundraise nowadays and give back. A lot of times you'll see, oh, it's my 40th birthday. Here is my birthday cause. Instead of getting me a gift, put money towards this cause in my behalf. And so doTERRA is jumping on that with their Healing Hands Foundation to allow you to start a fundraiser and then apply for matching support for your own cause as well. So a couple different ways that you can utilize this website. And then they've got all kinds of amazing information on what the Healing Hands Foundation is. So again, if you have a birthday or a second wedding that people typically might want to be getting gifts for you, but you don't feel like you need anything physical, the monetary means can really help go to this Healing Hands Foundation through this fundraiser. Okay, and then Mentors International. So one of the things that doTERRA has really pushed to do is empower people. And with that, they're empowering people that may not have financial means to get started with a business on their own. And in some of these small countries, they don't need a lot, but they do need a little bit. And so they have given out 16,000 loans. They've created 10,000 jobs. 26,000 people have been impacted. Families have been impacted. And they have dispersed $6 million, $341,927. $6,341,927 that has been dispersed in loans to other people's goals, with them paying them back. So it gives them pride, and it gives them an opportunity to really make something of themselves.
You know what I think is so cool about this too? It's almost like the money is being recycled because they lend the money out and then it gets paid back and then it gets lent out again.
Uh-huh.
I just think that's awesome.
Recycled money.
Recycled money.
Days for Girls. Okay, I know that we've talked about this in the past because this really moved me. Days for Girls is an organization like that Sandy Naps that provides sanitary napkins and education for women in third world countries that may not have knowledge of what their period is or access to clean sanitary napkins. And so these are a reusable, washable, reusable product that will allow them to stay clean during their cycle and therefore allow them to finish up school. So I think it was 1 in 10, typically 1 in 10 girls in sub-Saharan Africa, 113 million adolescent girls in India, 30% of the girls from rural areas of Brazil will miss school this year because of their menstrual cycle.
Wow.
That's huge. So over the last year, Days for Girls has done 14 different service projects. They've had 1,200 volunteers. They've done 2,900 hours of service.
Wow.
Okay, and there's more. So a couple years ago, they had brought up our connection with the Operation Underground Railroad, which has been a fantastic organization that has been rescuing children in the sex trafficking industry. And then they started partnering up with Three Strands Global Foundation and the Rafa House. Now, the Rafa House is the secondary place that they go to after they've been rescued. So it's a rehabilitation facility that helps them to feel, loved, and really helps them to integrate back into the world. Because if you can imagine, some of these children have been taken from their homes since they were like super young. Their parents may have been killed in a disaster or just straight up broke and sadly sold off their children because that's what they felt they needed to do. So the Rafa House helps them to heal. And then the Three Strands Global Foundation is a organization that that helps to educate people in the positions of like school teachers and whatnot to help them understand what it might look like to see somebody in one of these positions so that we can really make a difference even from the very, very beginning. So all kinds of awesomeness. And again, just like any of these other ones, if you're feeling drawn to one particular foundation, I highly encourage you to check out their website and dive deeper. So here's the Operation Underground Railroad. Again, they have been rescuing kidnapped children from slavery, which, that's no small task. It's pretty awesome. They have recently created a digital forensic lab and a mobile crime lab. The digital forensic lab has allowed the arrest of 36 traffickers in 2018 alone and helped to rescue 16 victims of sexual exploitation. And that's because of that digital forensic lab. They have a domestic ICAC task force that has helped. These partnerships have resulted in 50 arrests and 7 rescues in Washington State. Washington State, guys. That feel a little close to home. And 24 arrests in Arizona. They have a medical mission to not only help to rescue these children, but they're helping to bring medical supplies, pharmaceuticals, medical kits, hygiene kits, and food to the highly trafficked areas in Haiti, right on the Dominican Republic border. And the medical supply offering was an opportunity to continue the search for Gardy, a Haitian boy that went missing in 2009 and spearheaded the formation of Operation Underground Railroad, as well as to follow up on recent leads. Sorry guys, there's so much. Okay, so the healing or the Hope Blend was created to help this Operation Underground Railroad team with funding, and so 100% of the Hope Oil Blend purchase that you make goes to the rescue efforts of this amazing organization.
And what I think is incredible is the Hope Blend, when it was presented at a convention, oh gosh, 3 years ago, maybe, they had given us all each one. And it originally, they were not going to sell it. And they had, on the underside of the label, there were directions with how kids could get help. So they were trying, you know, they made this oil blend to try and distribute it to kids that were stuck in slavery, to kind of try and help them. And of course, as soon as we all learned about it and smelled it, doTERRA decided to make it available to us. And so then anytime that you purchase this, 100% of those proceeds go straight to OUR, which is just awesome. So awesome. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I had to jump in there.
No, I appreciate any time you jump in, Glenda.
I think that wraps up our, nope.
Almost. I told you, man. It is just more and more. Okay, so they've got community projects going on in their own communities, right? So this is a peace house that has been built in Utah, and this is for survivors of domestic violence in Summit and Wasatch County. The Peace House is a facility, it's a secure facility with 8 emergency housing shelter units, 12 self-sufficient suites, 60 units total. And it looks like there will be, the 12 self-sufficient suites will also allow for longer-term occupancy of 6 to 24 months as needed. And this new facility quadruples the number of housing units from 15 that are currently available to 60.
Wow.
So this is what they're doing in Utah alone. The Rwandan school they've been building, well, in Rwanda. They've helped to create 2 new dormitories. They bring in Days for Girls kits, backpacks, calculators, and 300 wheelchairs for disabled students.
You know, I'm listening to all this, Julie, and you've done an amazing job. We are so blessed. And it's so amazing to be a part of something that realizes the importance of giving back and helping others. And I think that's one of the things, you know, when I share doTERRA with other people that I'm so proud of, is that we are out in the world making a difference for anyone and everyone, you know.
For sure.
It's really awesome. It's going to make me cry today. Oh. And there's more. Oh no,
there's more. And there's more. Okay, after putting together all of this healing hands stuff, I could not dive as deeply into the co-impact sourcing as I could have, because we would be here all day. But I did have to throw in some things. So 130 essential oils come from over 45 countries, and that means that we're generating jobs worldwide. We are changing things up in this industry by paying them fair trade prices and giving them fair labor conditions, creating long-term partnerships, and again, it helps with our sustainability factor. So here are some of the co-impact sourcing expeditions that we've done just over the last year. So 5 expeditions to Nepal to help rebuild after earthquakes. We've brought clean water to 41,000 people. We've built new hospitals. They have what's called a clean stove project, which I've never even thought was necessary, but they apparently, if you don't have a stove that has a good exhaust system, it will create some really good breathing difficulties inside of your home, which really makes sense to me, but you don't think about it here. So in their Clean Stove project, they've brought the opportunity for clean stoves with exhaust and such into different people's houses. So they've been reconstructing schools. They have a veterinary agricultural lab, which I thought was so fascinating, and donated classroom desks. And so this is in Nepal. In Bulgaria, they've been able to do some work in orphanages, painting buildings and constructing and planting gardens, and then refinishing bathrooms. Kenya, they have 560 desks donated to the school. They were sanded and painted and worked right alongside the students to do so. 80 water pumps were installed and 2 schools renovated. Now, what I have to tell you guys is these co-impact sourcing expeditions, this is something that you can either purchase your participation in through doTERRA to go on some of these co-impact sourcing trips, or you can earn a co-impact sourcing trip. And so if either of those things interest you, reach out to Glenda and I, and we'll help you figure out how to make it happen. Haiti, they were able to bring clean water to over 300 people and 50 cattle. Madagascar, they brought in these mobile health clinics. Guatemala, they helped build the Choice Humanitarian Facility and Workshop, renovating schools, updating the bridge, offering volcano relief, again, the new stove program, and literacy programs too. So, Glenda, do you remember this at leadership?
Yes.
This was all just from leadership.
Wow.
So it was almost like an auctioneer up on stage. They were talking about all of the fantastic things that we were doing with the Healing Hands Foundation. And they had given us a quick little like text message phone number. If you text this phone number, and it will donate $10 to the Healing Hands Foundation. And so they gave us an opportunity to do that. And then some of our leaders just started going crazy. And they started donating like $1,000 here, $2,000 there, $10,000 here. And they started donating just a ton of money. And this is on top of, we had a Healing Hands Foundation booth that was collecting money all week long. And this was in both San Diego and Atlanta. And so between the 2 locations and the 3 days that we were there, doTERRA's leaders donated a total of $433,419 to the Healing Hands Foundation.
That's just so sweet.
That's in 6 days.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible. Pretty incredible.
So, switching gears. Now that we filled you full of all warm fuzzies and amazing things that we're doing, there is some big stuff in the works, and talk about disrupting healthcare in an awesome way. And this is so close to my heart. the medical system that we have is just, it's sick care. It takes care of sick people, and it doesn't really look to the proactive ways of keeping people healthy when they're healthy. Yeah, I could go on, but I'll just cry. So coming to us is the Prime Meridian Healthcare, and this is life-changing healthcare. So what doTERRA is doing is they are creating these clinics that they're going to start opening across the U.S., where they are going to take Western medicine and Eastern medicine and bring them together, of course, with a whole bunch of essential oils. And what the focus will really be on is preventative care. And so what that is going to mean too is that you're going to actually get 30 to 60 minutes with the doctor when you go in. You're going to get time to actually explain what is going on with you. They're going to listen. There'll be a lot of evidence-based medicine. You know, they'll be able to do a lot of research this way too, and by integrating both Eastern and Western medicine and other modalities. And what it's going to mean on the other side too is that the cost is going to be lower. There'll be a cost-sharing plan, and it's really about preventing getting sick. Yeah. So, and I kind of dabbled into this a little bit. So currently, if you go to the doctor, the average face-to-face time with the doctor is 16 minutes. And I don't know about any of you, but I know the last few times I've gone to the doctor, they sit in front of a computer. They're not even looking at me. They're not really talking with me. They're busy typing, you know, the few things that I've said and looking at my chart and just reading everything back to me that's already in there. And that to me is not... doesn't really help me when I'm there. You know, and currently we have a lot of mental illness. We have a lot of addiction. We have a lot of metabolic illness. That's, you know, a lot of lifestyle changes can be made in there. There's a lot of people with just a lot of chronic pain. And then really what gets to be really sad is the insurance company then decides what they're going to cover. So it kind of dictates your care. And in some instances, what you might really need, your health insurance company might not cover. And if you don't have the means to pay for it, you might not be getting what you really need. So with Prime Meridian, you will have, like I mentioned, the 30 to 60 minutes with the doctor. And there will be time to address all of these other issues. And one other thing about this clinic is that it will not run through insurance. So there's no one saying, no, we're not going to cover that. I'm hoping the next slide. Nope. So, and I think I have a slide later down here that this will be more of like a subscription-based care plan. And that's why it won't run through insurance. You know, you'll have a subscription with Prime Meridian, and there'll be a discount if you are a member of doTERRA, which is even more awesome.
Even more awesome. Well, and I think one of the things that we have to remember is that this is for our primary care, right? And
yes.
So, right, well, you'll still want to carry a catastrophic insurance in case, you know, you end up losing an arm or something.
And that's a really good point to make too, because, and also, you know, it is currently part of our, is it a law, or it's, you know, something you have to have now. When you file your taxes, you know, you have to prove that you had health insurance. So I'm not saying get rid of your health insurance. I'm not saying that. Thank you for pointing that out. Yes. There is a time and a place for that level of care.
But yes, and absolutely. And if you have a desire to truly discover how you can be healthier, this is going to be a really great way to go, because they're going to be medical doctors that are trained in essential oil use, in some of these other alternative methods, as opposed to just knowing the latest and greatest pharmaceutical.
Or surgery.
Or surgery, yeah. And so they're going to have a lot of other options for you. They will have knowledge in the pharmaceutical and surgery realm, but they'll have options for you. And you'll have an opportunity to have a little bit more, you'll feel a little more in control, which I think is huge.
So, and since I've already peeked ahead to the next one, in the next 5 years, there is 3 phases of where these clinics are going to start opening. And they kind of alluded to the fact that it might be sooner than 5 years. It's really going to be finding the right people, the right physicians that are open-minded to this kind of offering and getting them in the right places. So in the first phase, there's currently 3 clinics open, one on the doTERRA campus, one other one in Utah and Nashville, I believe.
You need to change the slide.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
So, oh yes, the ones with the stars, those are the 3 that are already open. And then the other locations here will be in the first wave. So Chicago, New York, Atlanta, Phoenix, Riverside, LA, really awesome. What's even more exciting, especially if you're in the state of Minnesota, woo! Phase 2, we will be getting one in Minneapolis. I am so excited for this. I cannot even begin to explain it to you. The amount of times I have spent in the hospital with my father over the last 5 years has just given me a lot of reasons why I don't want to end up there. So we will be in the phase 2 cities along with Washington, D.C., Houston, Dallas, Denver, Seattle, Portland, Sacramento, San Francisco, and San Diego. And then phase 3 adds a whole bunch more, a lot on the East Coast there. So this is just so exciting. Stay tuned for more information. I'm sure we will get more information as Prime Meridian begins to and continues to grow. And then this is what they showed us. I don't want to say that this is for sure. I think this, maybe it is for sure. I don't know. But this is kind of what you might be able to expect as far as the monthly subscription fees. It'd be a monthly premium that you pay. And it's kind of my understanding that that kind of covers you if you go in for anything. But I don't remember much beyond that. Do you?
I don't know that they gave us a ton of details on that one, but this does cover office visits plus telephone visits. And I really like that idea because it could, I found myself with young kids and it's, 2:00 in the morning and my only option is to bring them into the emergency room at that time. And that in and of itself is an expensive visit just for stepping foot into that facility. So this allows you to call in. I believe there's a 24-hour nurse practitioner on staff that you can connect with over the phone or do a Zoom chat so that she can see if you've got a physical ailment that you want to show off or talk through your symptoms. And she'll be able to tell you at that point in time whether or not it's important to come in or whether she can give you some ideas and tips and tricks to utilize at home. Mm-hmm. So it gives you a lot of freedom and a lot of options.
It's just so exciting.
And as a wellness advocate, 10% discount.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's just a little bit more. So like I mentioned, Prime Meridian Healthcare is really kind of removing some of the barriers of insurance, and it's really focusing more on the person and actually getting to the root cause and not just treating all the symptoms that start to emerge because there's something else going on. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Go ahead.
Anything else you want to add on Prime Meridian?
Well, I was just going to say one of the biggest things that draws me to this is, we only make up 3% of the world, and we consume more than 90% of the world's prescription drugs.
Yes.
So I'm so excited to have another option.
Mm-hmm. So excited. So switching gears one more time. Well, actually, we'll have one other.
Well, I'm going to say, I don't even know if we're switching gears here.
Are we?
No, because part of what I think doTERRA, their big vision is that they initially wanted to create these amazing essential oils They wanted to source them sustainably and help out communities around us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we have busted into this medical world. The Prime Meridian, what it's going to allow is it's going to allow not only for us as individuals to go in and get a better specialized, a better focused, holistic healthcare, true healthcare opportunity, but because they're going to be using essential oils that have finally had a regulation to them, they will be able to do far more clinical research studies, medical journals on their essential oil findings, because there have been just a ton of medical journals that have come out recently. But one of the things about historical issues with clinical use of essential oils is without the essential oil, without there being any governing body over essential oil purity, there has never been what am I trying to say?
Standard, no standard.
Yes, thank you. There's not been the standards that there is now with doTERRA's purity.
So doTERRA works with a company called Aromatic Plant Research Center, and they do all of our testing on our oils. So anytime that we get oils from the farmers, the oils are tested to make sure that they have all the necessary components, so you're going to get that therapeutic benefit when you use the oil. They also make sure that there's nothing in there that could be harmful. So they run 54 different tests on every sample of oil. And then after the oil is then bottled, it's tested again to make sure that it hasn't been tampered with in any way. This is huge, and this is something that other essential oil companies that are popping up everywhere are not necessarily doing. And they might be doing some testing, but they're not doing testing that gets down to the nitty-gritty. Over my 8 years with doTERRA, every year at convention, they talk a little bit about some of the science behind these tests. And granted, I'm not very scientific, but what I have learned over the years is that there's certain tests you can do that will show that, oh yeah, this is essential oil, but there's other tests that you really have to get down, because essential oils can be created in a laboratory. And there's certain tests that you have to do to really differentiate between, is this a synthetic makeup of the oil or is this natural? Because when you distill oils, there are things in there, after extensive testing that show that it's pure. There are things that cannot be replicated from nature in the synthetic form. So this is really important that our oils are tested to this level of all these different things to make sure that they're safe for us to use, and that we're going to get the benefit, we're going to get that benefit we're looking for when we use the oil, because that's why we use them. Mm-hmm. So a couple of things that I thought were fascinating that they shared with us last week is that APRC does testing for 50 different essential oil companies. And that's including everything from direct selling to online retailers to retail stores. And I know something that I've started sharing in all my classes that I teach is at Target, that little dollar section when you walk in, they're selling essential oils in there for $1. And I can tell you that there's no way that's pure or anything. One of the presenters also mentioned that they found essential oils in the craft store. I doubt those are going to be pure. But what's really cool is, so out of these 50 companies that APRC tested, they stated in their results that only 3 of these companies were consistently pure oils, meaning that 95% of all oils are adulterated that they're testing. Of course, doTERRA was one of the 3, and that's part of why we love them so much. And the other 2 companies were mom and pop kind of businesses, and most of their essential oils were actually priced higher than doTERRA's essential oils. So If you know a lot about some of our competition, none of those were in the top 3. These were companies, and sadly, they did mention that one of them is very close to going bankrupt, because we've really occupied this space. You know, we've only been on the market for 10 years, but doTERRA is the largest distributor of essential oils. And then they kind of went on a little further to mention that of all the oils tested from these companies, some have had all of their oils tested. 80% of the oils sold are adulterated. And on the next slide here, I'm going to give you some, I'm going to give you some things that, you know, you might not know what it means that an oil's been adulterated. And some of those things are that it could be labeled as being pure, but it could be cut with a carrier oil. So it could have like jojoba oil in it, or, you know, any kind of other carrier oil. It could also be a mislabeled species. So they might be selling cinnamon leaf, or they might be selling cinnamon leaf as cinnamon bark, meaning that they're selling a different part of the plant and labeling it as another part of the plant. Or just selling a cheaper form of peppermint or frankincense. So after, you know, when doTERRA distills their oils, we only distill the plant material once. But, you know, there could be other companies that are distilling the plant material more than once. So, of course, each time you distill it, you're going to get less and less of those therapeutic benefits. Another way of adulteration could be that they've added aromatic chemicals, synthetic fragrances, and then 95 to 100% are just complete fabrications, meaning that they are made in a lab. So, I invite you to think of when you walk down the aisle in the grocery store that has all the household cleaners. And I would venture to say that at least half of them, you know, are like a lemon fragrance or a lavender fragrance. That is not pure essential oil in those cleaners. Mm-hmm. Those are chemical, those are synthetic. You know, ever since I've started with doTERRA 8 years ago, and I've slowly gotten rid of all the toxins in my home, I know the minute I'm somewhere where there is something and it's not pure, you know, and my body starts to react. I might sneeze, I might have trouble breathing. But the more you get away from those toxins, the easier they are to identify when you're around them. At least I found that for myself. So there's so much on the market, and essential oils are a buzzword now. I mean, if I see one more Glade or Febreze commercial, we've added essential oils to our plugins. Well, yeah, it's not real. So we just thought that it was really important to share not only that the level of testing that doTERRA's oils are going through to make sure that they're pure and potent, but to also kind of give you some ideas of what is really happening out there in the market. You know, just before Christmas, I was at Sam's Club or Costco, and they had a whole kit. I want to say it was like 20 oils, or 8 oils for $20.
With a diffuser.
With a diffuser. And you are just not, it is not the same thing that doTERRA is offering. So I invite you to, you know, if you're new to doTERRA, really kind of let that sink in. If you've been with doTERRA for a while and you have friends that are starting to kind of experiment with what's available out there in craft stores or Target, really share something with them, share some peppermint with them, smell them side by side, just really kind of start to be cognizant of what you're using on your body and make sure that it is pure and it does not have synthetics in it. This is one of I feel so passionate about this because I did not know for so long. And I used to have my own house cleaning business in my early 20s. And if I would have known then what I know now about chemical and household cleaners, it would have completely changed my business, because I'm pretty sure I poisoned myself in a lot of the houses I cleaned where there was, you know, little or no ventilation in the bathrooms. And here I am spraying Windex and, you know, shower cleaners and just all that stuff and breathing it in. So it's just, I can't stress all of this enough. Anything you put on your body is going in your body. So I will get off my soapbox now, but it's just really important to know that the oils you're using are pure and not filled with things that might be harmful to your body. And rant here. Oh, this was one other thing that I thought was really awesome. So typically, the process of essential oils and the way they kind of go prior to doTERRA is that, it starts with a farmer, goes to the distiller, then it goes to the in-country broker and or perfumist, who then sells it to the U.S. broker or European broker and perfumist. Then it goes to the company, and then it goes to the consumer. So there is a lot of room for corruption in here. There's a lot of room for the farmer not getting paid what they deserve for growing the plants. There's just, and then it goes to the consumer. A lot.
Sorry.
Oh, I was like, there's an echo. Echo. With doTERRA's process of sourcing oils, it goes from the farmer to the distiller to doTERRA to significant testing to the consumer. So with this model, we are able to make sure that the farmer is compensated and they get everything that they deserve so they can take care of their families. And there's also no middleman in here to disrupt the flow. So I just thought this was cool.
For sure. Okay. We've been talking a lot, and this is probably one of the longer webinars that we've done in a while, but we just have so much amazingness to share with you guys. So we're going to finish off with our new products and product updates.
Woohoo!
So last year they came out with the Balance Oil Blend Deodorant, and this year they are coming out with this new gentle formula. So some people have an issue with the baking soda that is in our Balance Oil Blend Deodorant. And so they've asked for a gentler formula. So this is free of baking soda, free of aluminum, free of parabens, free of that word that I can't pronounce, and free of talc. And the aroma to this is going to be Douglas fir and Greek orange. So it sounds very refreshing. And this is currently available already.
These were awesome, and I have some if I happen to see you and you want to try one, but they are ginger and lemon digestive drops, and they're so nice. I was afraid that the ginger would be overpowering, but it's just a really nice, smooth little digestive treat after you have a meal too. So these would also help with feelings of nausea associated with motion, healthy digestion, occasional stomach discomfort and indigestion, and a touch of lemon added for flavor and additional detox benefits. These are also already available to you for purchase. So order them.
It's going to be a perfect one to stick in the glove box of my car.
Yes.
For those little long driving trips. Okay, so this is super exciting. They came out with a yoga collection a couple years back that is just a beautiful collection of these 3 different oil blends: Anchor, Align, and Arise. And up until now, they have only been sold as the 3-pack. But you can get them separately now. And they've got great little prices on them. So check it out.
This is more of a product update, is that Melaleuca, when you start to get this now, it will be labeled as tea tree. The oil, what is in the bottle has not changed at all. It's just that there are so many different kinds of Melaleuca, and tea tree is really more known in the marketplace. So it's just a small labeling change there from Melaleuca to tea tree, but it's still the same product.
And then the Citrus Bliss Bath Bar, we had this available in an old formula and old packaging. They updated the formula recently, added this exfoliating wax beads from the sunflower and orange peel powder. So I'm pretty excited about this. This will go nicely with what we have currently is our Serenity Bath Bar, and then I think they have a 3-pack of unscented as well. Mm-hmm. That you can get, but this is just a really nice addition to your self-care and getting that aromatic benefit in your daily bathing practices.
Mm-hmm. Then coming to you soon, actually Monday, about April 1st, there is a Mother's Day kit that you'll be able to purchase, and it comes with this beautiful Breve marble diffuser. It's the same diffuser that they had available before Christmas with the holiday peace? No, holiday harvest spice.
Yeah.
It had a different color to the bottom, but I've heard great things about that diffuser. And then it also comes with a special Mother's Day blend, Citrus Bloom. And we got to smell this at Leadership, and it smells beautiful. It's really nice and citrusy with lots of floral notes to it. So that will be available on April 1st. And then you'll also be able to, if you don't need a diffuser and you just want to get the oil, you'll be able to order the oil by itself as well.
And then Father's Day is coming up shortly after Mother's Day. Available May 24th will be this Island Mint Summertime Blend and Aroma Clip Diffuser. So this is a cool little diffuser, super simplistic. The black lines that you see there, those are actually going to be these foam inserts that go right inside that plastic component. And that guy clips, he'll clip horizontally right onto your vent. It's a really, really simplistic way to allow that aroma into your car. And it looks very nice. It looks a little cheap plasticky in the picture, but we got to see it in person, and it's a pretty decent quality unit. So this will be a really great Father's Day gift. And quite frankly, you don't have to be a father or a dad or a boy to get this. You can get it for your own car too, Glenda.
And I plan on it.
Okay, so the Island Mint is a great little blend. We got to smell this one too, with lime, distilled lemon, peppermint, and spruce.
So that kind of wraps up, in a nutshell, what we learned in 3 days, along with a ton of other stuff. And join us next week. We'll be back to focusing more on the products, but we really wanted to give you just a picture of where doTERRA is headed and the amazing things that we are doing in the world. So we will close with some of our upcoming events and education that's available. doTERRA has podcasts now. We've talked a little bit about that in the past. Be sure to check out doTERRA.com. And you can just type podcast in the search bar and it'll take you to those. And then this is really exciting. doTERRA is doing a spring tour, and it is going to be daily health habits will be the focus. And they're coming to Minneapolis on, mark your calendars, May 23rd. And that will be, there'll be 2 parts to this. So if you are interested in possibly sharing doTERRA with others and learning more about the business side, there will be a portion just for you from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. that day. Cost is $10. You're going to want to register out on doTERRA.com for this. And then there is a portion in the evening. If you are just a happy essential oil user, or you have friends and family that you want to introduce to doTERRA and its culture, this event from 7 to 9 p.m. will be fabulous to bring them to, and it'll be Healthy Habits for Life. It is free. However, we do ask that you register online, again, at doTERRA.com, because they've got some really cool incentives and freebies, and they want to make sure that they bring enough. So make sure you register and get a ticket. And then part of what they're doing is we have a daily health habits kit. And if you purchase that kit, it'll be 20% off. If you purchase that kit the day of the event, and you can show that, I'm assuming on your phone, they will give you a free bottle of Copaiba at the event. And that is awesome. And we learned so much about Copaiba last week too, which I'm sure we'll bring to you at a future webinar. And then if you happen to bring somebody new, or you are new and you want to attend this event and you decide to start your own wholesale membership at that event, you will also get a bottle of Balance free. And then if you also start your membership with the Daily Health Habits Kit, you'll get the Copaiba free as well. So I love freebies. I don't know about you guys, but I love getting free stuff. And doTERRA is amazing at spoiling us. So make sure you get this on your calendar. I believe it's going to be at the Hilton in Minneapolis, downtown. And again, that's May 23rd. It's a Thursday evening.
And I feel like, I could be wrong, but I feel like they had even said that you can have purchased this earlier in the month.
I just saw a post last night on our Gold and Platinum page.
Oh, really?
Lots of clarification. Yep. So you'll want to buy it at the event.
At the event, and it's 20% off for the entire month, though, or only at the event?
It's 20% off for the whole time that they're doing the tour, but buying it the day of the event that you attend gets you the free copaiba.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah.
So fantastic. 3 months worth of 20% off that Healthy Habits kit.
Whoop, whoop. And I had to throw this in here because if you have never been to a doTERRA convention, they're incredible. They're amazing. So what we just tried to cram in, over an hour. They spend 3 days presenting in a beautiful, upbeat, energizing way at our global convention. And it is in September. It starts September 11th through the 13th. You can register the day before and get all your freebies. The convention is located in Salt Lake City. And we would love to have you join us. This coming year will be my 9th convention. And they're just, each one, it amazes me how they outdo the previous year and the things they share with us. So the reason I'm sharing all this is because on Monday, April 1st, and I don't have a slide for that, April 1st, you'll want to go out to doTERRA.com, and if you hover over advocates, you can go to events. There will be open registration for tickets. They're $169. There are only about roughly 11,000 tickets available. So if you want to go, be ready to hop on the computer that day, or let Julie and I know so we can help you make sure that you get a ticket that day. Because it's an amazing event and those tickets will sell out that day. So if you're thinking about it, make it happen.
Make it happen.
Make it happen. Next week webinar will just be a surprise.
Yay! Surprise webinar!
And then we have our monthly business call on Saturday, April 13th. We'd love to have you join us. If you're interested in sharing doTERRA, please let Julie or I know. And then just a little bit later that day at 11 a.m., there'll be essential oils and the wellness lifestyle at Unwind Within. Then on Sunday, April 14th, there will be a business basics at noon at Unwind Within. And then Saturday, April 27th at 10 a.m., toxic-free cleaning. Woohoo! One of my favorite subjects. I know I'm crazy. I love cleaning. And then again, just save that date, May 23rd, for the Healthy Habits Spring Tour that doTERRA is doing. Make sure to go on the website and get registered.
Woohoo! Well, thanks so much, guys, for joining us. This has been a very fun-filled morning, and I love talking about all of the things that we have learned. So if you want to learn more, give us a call and we'll share and share and share and share far more with you. But this has been great. Love you guys.
Thank you.